Hello and welcome to the 1 month anniversary of the podcast, episode 4.
Oh,
I've been doing this shit
1 month?
weekly. Yeah, one whole month.
Wow.
Episode 4.
How do you guys feel? You guys have been listening to us for a month. These
Yeah,
two ugly mugs.
Yeah, they're ruined. We've
They
destroyed
got nothing
them.
better to do. That's what it is.
Yeah. They have taken the large dick and there is nothing left. They have been absolutely destroyed and destroyed for all future lovers. And that's what we aim to do. Here at the Furthest From Perfect podcast, I am Lance.
I am Steven.
Oh, man. 1 whole month.
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't even think, dude, I couldn't even, I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? This is episode 4.
Yep.
Right? 4 weeks in a month.
Yep.
But like, Jesus.
Yep.
I didn't even think of it like that.
It's it flew by, dude. I've been enjoying it. I've been really enjoying it, and I think people have been enjoying it. Everybody that comes into my stream says that they really enjoy it, but everybody lies in Twitch chat. Like everybody always likes to fucking,
Yeah.
you know, they
Stroke
build you
your
up,
ego.
you know. So
Yeah. Because you're not even that entertaining.
oh, I fucking suck, dude. I'm awful. I tell myself.
Yeah, no,
that
I try
all
to
the
go through
time.
like all the YouTube comments and like all the comments that I like, except the ones that talk trash about me. Forget you guys. I'm a person too, right?
talking shit.
No.
I
Not so
haven't
much.
gotten around to reading too many of the YouTube comments. I read some of them, but I've talked about this before. It's because Twitter ruined me for comments. I used to read all of them, and as I started to grow on Twitter, I started to realize that not everybody likes what you fucking do, and it started to like. I usually read the early ones because those are always people that like, even if
Viewed
they
it
don't like the
quickly.
shit, they're like,
Right.
they word it better than some random dude that like clicked on it in the like from a side panel or something and was like,
Right.
fuck, this is stupid. He watched 2 seconds of it and like took something the wrong way. So I usually read the early shit, and then like after that I just kind of, you know, I'll glance at it here and there, but I really don't read all of them. But that's because people are trash, and you know,
Yeah, people are trash. We're trash. Makes sense, right?
I am bread from the garbage can.
I'm soggy bread from a bowl of soup.
Soggy bread from a bowl of soup.
Soggy bread. Fight me if you don't agree with it.
Oh, dude. But how you been?
Dude, can I tell you? So I didn't know what you had named the last podcast until like I saw it go live and I watched it, obviously. And I was like, this dude really called our podcast Feeling Bad for the Killer.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not at all controversial.
Well, we talked about it for like, it was like probably a 10-15 minute thing because I didn't realize how long we talked about it whenever we were talking about Dexter and fucking the U guy. Like, I legit was feeling bad for dude. I identified with the killer in a weird way. And it wasn't like I want to kill people. It was like the way, you know, the way they spin the narrative a little bit. And it was like, holy shit, I feel bad for this guy. I identify with this guy that's out here killing people. And, you know, it's not my fault. That was meant to be that way. Okay?
Right. Yeah, well, I was like, he went there. But I'm cool with it. And I don't know which person said, they commented on there that I am a collector. I am not a collector. So I just like the Marvel Steelbooks. Because I remember we were talking about that. And I read the comment. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, Steve, you're a collector. And I was like, you don't know me. What are you talking about? And I was like, oh, this was the episode we did talk about the Steelbooks.
Yep.
But no, I'm not a collector. So thumbs down to that.
They know you better than you know you. They've been listening to your bullshit for a month now. They know you very well.
This is true.
You can't fake it for that long. You can't do it. It's impossible. It's impossible.
There's people that get famous off of faking it for very, very long periods of time. Like
yeah,
the
but
one
they
dude
don't do this.
Yeah, but like there was a Twitch streamer that like faked that he was in a wheelchair and then
Yeah, but
he
that guy's a
wasn't.
fucking psychopath. We don't talk about
scumbag.
that.
We don't talk about him here.
That guy's fucking
The only person I know that's more scummy than him is you.
okay. I didn't fake
Yeah.
being in a fucking wheelchair. All right, I don't care who you are.
We went there.
You fake being in a fucking wheelchair, and you can suck my balls. All right.
Well,
Not only
Hey.
faking being in a wheelchair, made up a bunch of fucking medical issues that come from being in a wheelchair and was making people pay for it. Fuck that guy.
Triggered.
I hope that
Triggered.
guy rolls
Triggered.
over a goddamn Lego in
Triggered.
his fake ass wheelchair.
Triggered.
Fuck that guy.
Triggered. Somebody triggered?
That guy makes
Somebody
me
say
so
trigger?
mad, dude. What a piece of fucking shit. I haven't thought about him in so long. He's like, oh, wait, let me get it. And he fucking stands his little goofy ass up. And it's like, oh, wait. Oh, I can walk. Oh, God. Jesus
The
has
fact that he tried to
healed.
play it off.
Jesus has come and healed me once again. Oh.
All your donations have helped.
Fucking.
I got knees.
Fucking garbage, dude. I hope that dude fucking. Oh, man. I haven't thought about that in so long. I saw that
Go play in
clip.
traffic until he actually becomes paralyzed.
That motherfucker is so just garbage human being. Like, don't get me wrong, dude. Like, I get it, okay? You got to make money, right? But a wheelchair. That was your only play, was a wheelchair? Really? The only way that I can imagine that started is he did it, like, he didn't have a regular gaming chair to sit in, and he had a wheelchair. I don't know what kind of person just has a wheelchair sitting around. But he plopped his ass down in his stream, and then people just assumed that he was in a wheelchair, and then he played to it, and then it got out of hand. That's the only way that I can rationalize what he did, because lying on that scale always just, like, it just makes me angry. It frustrates me so bad.
Yeah, I to me, like, I mean, we've always talked about it numerous times of, like, I know why people do it. I don't understand it. The whole lying to create an image of something is something I've never understood that mindset, right? Is like, especially like, how did he create his channel? Was like, I'm going to be a paralyzed guy.
And it wasn't even like a character. It wasn't like he was being like fucking Professor Xavier from the X-Men or something. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense.
He was like in his legit life, like doing donation goals for fucking, I don't know, like a nurse to wipe his ass from. I don't know what it all was, but it was like he was like getting like donations for like fucking like healthcare and shit for all of his complications of his wheelchair. Okay, fuck you, dude.
Well, that just makes me mad, right? So like, insane asylum, right? Clearly, he's not a fucking psych doctor, right? Like, but like his stuff is like so innocent that like.
Yeah, and like
on different scales, but like he could have played any character he wanted, obviously, but instead he wants to fake. I mean, I guess I understand why, right? Like to get that sympathy card, but why? Like, I would love to, like, we need to have him on the podcast.
No, he's not coming
let me
anywhere
ask you
near
some
my
questions.
fucking channel, dude.
Let me
can fall in a lake tomorrow. Maybe he already has, and I just don't even know. That's how little I think about that guy. There's no way in hell he comes near my fucking channel. He can stay over there with his
So you're
goofy
saying you don't
ass.
want to make a skit with him?
No,
No
hell
skits?
no. Fuck that
No
guy.
skits at all?
Yeah,
Not
fuck
even
that
one?
guy. He can.
Do it for the TikTok.
If he was on the podcast, I wouldn't let him talk. I would mute his audio feed and just have him stand up in the frame the whole time. I would just have the camera on his perfectly working legs.
You're gonna stand from now on.
That's what I would do. I'd have his just on his legs. It wouldn't even be in his face. Just his perfectly working legs. I'll have his ass run on a treadmill the whole time. That's what I do. Hey, look at this. You fucking piece of shit. Just mute his audio feed. Fuck that
Run
guy.
for donations.
That shit. Oh, dude. I'll never forget that. That shit was so awful. When was that? He got caught years ago too. And I'm still mad about
that was
it.
a while back. Yeah, that was a while back.
Oh, dude.
So what is the? I know you posted something about that new platform, that new Vine-like thing that you were.
What's
gonna
Byte?
try out. How you liking it?
It's really good. I still don't know if it's real or not. Like, I've been posting, right? And I've posted pretty much every day. It came out like last week, and I've been posting every day. And what's weird about it, right? So like the last thing I posted was yesterday. It's got 22 likes. The one before that's got 20. One before that's got 19, 23, 25. I got one in here that's like got like 40 likes, some shit. But I've been posting pretty much every day to it. And what's weird about it, dude, is every time I post, like immediately I'll get, I don't know if it's just people with notifications on or what, but like I'll immediately get about like 5 to 10 likes, right? And then it just dies off completely, and then I slowly get a couple like here and there throughout the day. And
Right.
every time I've posted, I've gained anywhere from 2 to 5 followers, like, immediately. So it comes off very, like, is this legit, or are there like bots on this the shit that are, because when it first came out, all the comments were bot comments, didn't matter, like the first like day or two, and then now I don't know if it's still bots that are like they're trying to legitimize their platform, so to speak,
Right.
to like make creators feel good. But like it's so weird the way I've been looking at it. Like I get followers right when I post, like within 5 minutes I'll gain 2 to 5 followers on every, like I've got 100 and I've got 103 right now, and like I've only I posted about it on Twitter like a while back, right when it came out, but like I got a few off that, but it wasn't like a bunch. And now it's like, it's just weird. It's very weird and very like, is this shit real? Like I don't know. Apparently I've got like 1,600 loops or something, so like people have watched my shit like 1,600 times or something. But it's very strange to me. But I like it. It's fun as fuck. It gives me an avenue to like not only test video ideas. What?
Get your Trevor Wallace on.
I mean, it just gives me a chance to like test video ideas or like shit that I don't think would be good for a video, like extended. It's just punchlines. It's one punchline. That's all it is. And so it gives me an avenue to just throw that together, because most of the bites only take like 2 minutes to record. It's not like it's a lot goes into it. I can literally do it. Like I could fucking do one right now, like on the fucking podcast, and you know, that would be the bite, and it would be up, and it would be done, and it would be like content that I could put out there. It's just another way for me to like practice, because like a lot of people, I like to practice, and I know that a lot of people don't get that, but everything that I do is like practicing for something. So whether it's writing skills, whether it's like being better at getting to a joke, or like, and that's kind of like what this is. Like I have 6 seconds to make a joke. I have 6 seconds to not only set it up, but also have a punchline and like make it funny. And that's all practice. And so that's what it comes down to, is like it gives me a way to work on that and to practice that. And it's good. I like it. It's literally Vine. It just brought back all the old fucking nostalgic feelings of Vine. And
I wonder how many people are actually like gonna like get behind that, right? Like,
so they announced monetization. They're doing a partner program
already.
Yeah. So what they're doing is, well, that's what killed Vine before, was lack of. So all the creators just straight up left Vine because there wasn't a good way to monetize your content. Like, why would you? They were using Vine to then advertise either a YouTube channel or an Instagram like page where they could post not only longer content, but then they could get sponsors for that content, and like they could get like revenue from like YouTube. They could get ad revenue from YouTube. So a lot of Viners bounced on Vine and went to YouTube because there wasn't a way to properly monetize content on Vine, really. Like the only way that you could really do it was advertisers. Like I remember seeing commercials for Axe and shit on there that they had paid Viners to do, but at the end of the day, like marketers, teams that market shit don't want to pay for a 7-second placement.
Yeah.
They want to pay for a 1-minute slot, a 2-minute slot. Like everybody that's ever reached out to me for shit to like do ads and stuff on videos, they always want like me to do the skit like in like the realm of whatever it is that they're advertising, like make the skit kind of about that, and then they want me to then talk about it for like anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes after the fact. So like they want that airtime. They want to pay for that airtime because it's not really enough to make an impression in 6 seconds. It's like, oh, that was funny, but he was just playing with deodorant or something. You know, it's not something, and that's what killed Vine before. So now they're doing it. They're being smarter about it, and they're actually doing kind of an ad-based revenue thing. They announced it on Twitter like not too long ago, and it's like based on the number of views, like you get put into a tier, and then that way then you can get paid for that. And I can like there's a lot of details. You can look at it on their Twitter account. But yeah, they're already announcing like a partner program and a fucking like monetization and shit. So I'm wondering if that's gonna hold people there. Regardless, I like making content on it because again, it doesn't eat up my day. Like I don't it
Right.
doesn't
Yeah.
take me
No,
a
it's something
week.
that's like a very quick.
Yeah.
Like here you go. Like I'm just sitting in the kitchen with Miley, right? Millie. Why did I think your dog's name was Miley?
You mixed Millie and Kylie.
Oh, that's what. Yeah,
I was taking a
I was so
drink.
confused. I was like, right when I said it, because it sounded so good, and I started pausing. I was like, wait, that's not his dog's
I was
name.
taking a drink. It was fucking like, wait, he'll catch it. He'll catch it. But yeah, it's
He's not a real friend.
It's good. Fucking, I couldn't get the original Lance. I can't get the original Lance on anything, even though I was like on that shit like day one, right when it fucking dropped. I could not get LANCE. I couldn't do it, so I have Lance with 2 L's on there, like everything else, because nobody's name is fucking Yancey. So
It's because
I
you're
get,
fake.
yeah, and
You're
so
trying to tell
I
everybody,
get,
no one wants to listen.
you know, I got Lance. If you guys want to look at Bite, it's definitely cool. If you miss Vine, you can fucking check that shit out. It's cool. It's like I said, it's just weird to me. It could be completely legit and like maybe I'm getting followers and shit. It's just weird the way everything kind of like hits all at once every time I fucking post. Like I don't know if they've got a part of the app where like they promote just like people that have just posted, and maybe that's what it is. Since I just posted, people that are scrolling through that see it and they like it, and then it falls off after that because it's no longer the new posting.
Right.
But it's not quite popular to get promoted into like the popular section. It falls in that middle ground, so maybe that's what it is. Just very, like I said, very weird the way the timings of everything work.
Right.
You muted your mic, by the way.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh.
I was typing something real quick.
That's what I figured. I didn't
Yeah,
want
no,
to
I
have
was just
another
listening. I was
incident like fucking last episode.
No, yeah. If I'm gonna type something, I'm gonna type while you're talking.
Okay. I was just fucking that last episode. I feel like people, like audio listeners, are probably so confused because I was.
How long was it though?
It was.
I didn't catch it.
It was like 20-30 seconds of me saying, we were talking about Theo Vaughn and what show he was on, and you literally answer me, and I'm like, yeah, but I can't remember the name of the fucking show, and like I'm talking to myself, but you're responding the whole time, and then we figured it out, and it was fine. But I was like, I was so confused. I've never now I've got it open, so now I know whenever your shit's muted, but. Like
second starts muted. Muted. No,
I'm panicking. Fuck.
He needs to know. Yeah. But yeah, that's a thing. But so how did you end up watching the Super Bowl, Kylie, or anything like that? Even for the previews or anything?
No. Kylie went over to her parents to just get out of the house because I told you she hurt her back, so she's kind of been just laying on the couch, and so she went over to her parents' house they were doing like pigs in a blanket and pizza and like all that good food and shit, and I stayed home and slept. So that was what I did because I was tired as fuck. So, but yeah, I wasn't into it. Everybody said the commercials sucked this year. They said Jason Momoa's was good, but then everybody else's like sucked. So I don't know.
The game I thought was pretty good. I enjoyed the fact that I wanted the 49ers to win because of Nick Bosa. But at the same
people
time,
hate him.
Nick Bosa?
Yeah. It was something about a comment he made about like he was trending on Twitter and people were just shitting on him for it. Like that was why he was trending, was people were making fun of Nick Bosa. And it was something having to do with like he made a comment about wanting to win so he could meet Trump or something like that, and then people took that as like he's a white supremacist and they wanted him to die apparently.
Like,
so it was weird. I don't know the whole comment, so I don't know. He could have been like, woo,
I just want to meet
Trump,
the president type thing, or like
Trump,
going to the White House.
Like,
man.
I don't know what it was, but he was something along the lines of he wanted to meet Trump, and so people took that and wanted his whole life to burn down, and so whenever they lost, they were just shitting on him. But anyways, the game was good.
Wow. Wow. That's kind of stepped on. It's kind of stepped on, dude. So I'm gonna fanboy for a minute here. I don't know what made me think about this. I was actually initially gonna ask this, but then I decided not to ask this because it was gonna be a weird question to ask. But then I'm gonna really just talk about it anyways because I was excited about it. The new Final Fantasy VII trailer got dropped, which is absolutely amazing. But because like what I was initially going to ask is if you had seen it, because there's a very to some will be very controversial. Anyone that's played the game, like it's a must-have thing, which is the Honeybee Inn. The scene where you got to dress the main antagonist up, or sorry, the protagonist up as a girl.
Okay.
And in the trailer, it's like a very out there type scene where this dude like walks up to him, like they're putting makeup on him, and he like literally like whispers into his ear, here at the Honeybee Inn, gender has no bounds or something like that, which like to me I think it's needed in the game. And I'm surprised more media outlets haven't like jumped all over it, because you know how people get a hard on for just controversy in general. Whenever like in a situation like that, I don't feel like there is any, but there's always those people that will try to find some controversy in it. But I didn't know if that like you had seen it, and or like what would be like Kylie's thoughts on like video games, like being a little bit more open to throwing that kind of stuff in there.
I did not see it. I don't know. It may have one of two effects, because again, I don't have a dog in that fight, because I don't hate people for being who they are, and I'm a straight dude, so like I'm not in that world, and like I don't know, like I don't really have a, you know, it doesn't offend me, but then again, like, you know, and I also don't know anybody who it has directly, like, you know, affected, so I don't really have like a huge opinion on it. But it could have one of two effects, which is everything in the progressive like realm. It either is going to be very well received, okay, and people are going to either look over it, or they're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm cool with that, like whatever, they're not going to think much of it. Or it's going to have the effect that Avengers Endgame had with that scene with all the
It's just cringy,
the woman superheroes that comes out, and it's like it was very forced. It was in there, and like people saw it, and people were like, okay, I see what you're doing. Like it was like very forced. It was not natural.
The whole the camera changed,
everything. And so that's the other
Go
thing.
ahead.
It's either going to have the like, it's either going to come off very forced, because again, I didn't see the trailer, so it's going to come off very forced and kind of like pandering almost, and not really like in the right place, and just kind of just trying too hard in that sense, or it's going to come off as like very natural and very normal, and nobody's going to say shit about it. But again, I don't know, because I didn't see it. But that's
from my opinion, it didn't look forced at all. But mind you, like it was like a 15-second clip, if that, like on a like 3-4 minute trailer. So I'm interested in like to see how the game actually plays into it. But for fuck's sake, dude, I just want the game to be here, man. I've waited. What is it? Came out in 97. I've been waiting. Oh my god, dude! 23 years. Then no, it hasn't been that long. I've been waiting at least 20 years for like a follow-up to this game, because I played this game close to after it was launched, right? As a kid, like I was Jackson's age, right? And like little stupid 8-year-old Steven, not really knowing what I'm doing, I'm just running through the game. Like it was probably one of the first games that had literally yoinked all of my attention. But that's also back, I didn't understand how video games worked, so I was always so confused to why 8 was nothing like 7. So like 8 was good in its own realm, but I always wanted a sequel. And that's why even as I got older, I started getting frustrated, because they wasted all their damn sequels on stupid ass Final Fantasy games that have no business having sequels, and I couldn't get the sequel to the game that I wanted. That is my game.
I can never get a definitive answer. Every time I ask somebody what their favorite Final Fantasy is, they all have different answers. So
yeah, because I think that's like that's what holds. So I still don't think 7's the best one. The best one for me, my favorite one was 8, and like I said, that's why I was okay with it. But 7 has more of a nostalgic feeling for me, right? Like where I struggle, even to this day, I struggle to go back and play it now, because I've played it for so many times, right? It's not one of those games, it's not like a Skyrim for you, right? Where you could pick it up and you could play it, you know everything you're doing, but like you could still lose 4 hours of your life just playing the same shit that you've done 100 times over.
Yeah.
I can't do that with Final Fantasy 7. I can do that with Final Fantasy 8. But Final Fantasy 7 was the game that literally made me, I would say it's probably top 3 most influential games for my life as a gamer in general, right? It's up there with like Call of Duty, which I think is probably the most influential game ever in my life. Not the best, not my favorite, but definitely the most influential.
Yeah.
For just multiple reasons, right? And I don't know what would be another one. Actually, if I'm not actually no, I would say I do know another one. Another one would be Fallout 3. Would probably be number 2. Just because of what that game created through my adult life for me. But then 7, like I said, and no given order, right? But 7 was the game that like made me fall in love with gaming to the point where I'm like, yo, I will not go to school for this. Like I will stay home sick, cough cough, and I will play video games all day.
Was that your
that was
your fucking that was your RuneScape for people? Like,
yes.
Whenever motherfuckers just like lost their life to RuneScape.
Yep. And the thing is, like, I love that game so much, right? And that initially, like, whenever I did start streaming, I remember I was telling you, like, I wanted to go back and play retro games because those were the games that I fell in love with. Like, but then, like, things happen and you never end up truly, like, the game's never the same when you go back. And that's why I've been, like, begging for, like, a remake, like, where it's a little bit, made a little bit better.
Yeah.
In the sense of like graphics and mechanics and stuff like that. And I'm genuinely excited. I think we're in a weird lull in gaming right now because there's so many great games for anybody that's into gaming has something that's coming up for them, right? And
weird lull because there's not a big trend right now. Like, BRs for the most part aren't just like being shit out at an alarming rate anymore, and like everything that's was gonna be released early has kind of been pushed back. But also, like, people are jumping into like Escape from Tarkov, and I talked about it on stream yesterday. Like, what Escape from Tarkov? The reason people are so enthralled with that game, and the reason why is because it's unlike any other game. There are games that try to do what Escape from Tarkov has done, but they don't really. It's not in depth, and it's not like, you know. It's not on the same scale. But there's also, like I said, there's not a trend, essentially. Like, Fortnite is still Fortnite, but it's not what it was. You know, so it's like not everybody and their mom is playing Fortnite. But, you know, there's some new RPGs coming out. The fucking, like, Sekiro just won, like, Game of the Year. So, like, people are checking that out. And then because of that, they're now, like, the Souls series there's been a lot of people going back and playing, like, Dark Souls and Bloodborne and shit like that. Because... like, there's this it's a weird time. It's a good time, but it's a weird time because, like, you know, Switch games are coming out and people are, you know, fucking always hyped about the Switch. But, like, I feel like it's getting more attention even. Like,
yeah.
And isn't there supposed to be a Breath of the Wild sequel or some shit that's coming out?
Yeah, they announced, like, a very, 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 very small trailer at E3 last year.
Gotcha. Because, like, but yeah, it's just a weird time because there's not a huge trend right now. Like, people are kind of waiting on the new shit, but also kind of cycling through a lot of games. You've noticed a lot more variety on, like, Twitch and things like that, where people are playing, you know, even the big battle royale streamers are jumping to different battle royales. They're even dabbling in some single player shit. They're dabbling in fucking Temtem, which is that Pokemon style game that's on Steam. They're kind of, you know, Escape from Tarkov. Like, there's a lot more variety over the field of gaming right now, which is awesome. I think that's fucking great. But you are correct. It is a very strange time, and I'm just excited for, you know, I'm excited for this year. I think it's going to be a good year, even though Cyberpunk got pushed back, which that was, like, my big one that I was excited for. So, I don't know.
I'm telling you, you need to play Resident Evil 3 when it comes out.
I might. I don't know.
Because to me, that game's a little bit more action-oriented. I know you don't like jump-scary games. And that game, I don't think we'll have too much of that, but no, yeah, definitely. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I think, for me, has been, in my opinion, it's a major success. Right? I know it's gotten some mixed reviews, but, like, me and Jackson, we have a great time playing it. And then most of the complaints are the stuff we knew coming in, right? It's the same game as the rest, right? Because you replay the story mode, whatever. I knew it was going to be that. But then Final Fantasy 7, Resident Evil 3 remake, Cyberpunk. I mean, there's countless games on the horizon. But hear me out, right? The one game we're not talking about, right? That we need to talk more about, right?
Okay.
Is I'm rolling the dice, man. It's going to happen this year, end of 2020. World of Warcraft Classic Battle Royale. Needs to happen. Need a BR version of World of Warcraft Classic.
Do you need a BR version of that?
Yep, need it.
I don't think anybody needs that.
No. I'm surprised that Overwatch 2 is not going to have a BR mode. I was expecting if any game was going to throw their chips into the Battle Royale thing, would have been Overwatch.
It'd be so bad. And here's why. Okay. Battle Royales typically have decent-sized maps. They're not huge, every single one of them. Like, the first Apex Legends map was not very big. Like, you could get, and with the movement in that game, you could get from one side of the map to the other very easily with balloons and then different things.
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch, there's no sprinting other than Soldier. Like, everybody has, like, there's some movement abilities, but there's no sprinting. So can you imagine, like, being McCree in a BR in Overwatch and just having to walk everywhere with your stupid fucking pistol, just hanging out, just like do clippity clop, a clippity clop, a clippity. It just fucking, it'd be annoying as shit. Like, it wouldn't, unless they stripped people's abilities, in which case, like, what the fuck is the point of Overwatch having a battle royale if you're gonna take abilities away from people? Like,
right.
And then you fall into the issue of, like, you know, how do you balance tanks, like tanks that have 600 fucking health against a DPS that has 150 health? Like, how do you balance that necessarily? I don't think it would work very well. I'm excited for Overwatch 2 strictly because I love Overwatch. I hate the fact that it's just died because arena shooters are not popular anymore. But I think they're going to make a resurgence, and here's why. Overwatch 2, I think, is going to bring people back to Overwatch, like, in that realm. I also think, like, again, with the I don't want to say downgrade, but, like, the swing back away from BRs as much. So things like, you know, they're not everything's a battle royale now.
Right.
And also Riot's new arena shooter, what I don't even remember what the fuck it's called, but they're releasing one. I think it comes out either this year or next year. I could be wrong. I might fucking look it up. It's what the fuck is it called? But it's like it looks a lot like CS, but it's, and that's Counter-Strike for anybody who doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But it looks like Counter-Strike, but it has, like, abilities. So, like, you can, like, throw up a shield essentially, and, like, it's
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's Riot's take on, like, an arena-based shooter. Let's see, Riot FPS game. Here we go. Oh, Project A. That's what it's called. Yeah, it's called Project A, and it is a character-based tactical FPS. So it's like Counter-Strike, but it's got, like, kind of the abilities of Overwatch, but not, like, I don't think it's got all the same, like, the biggest issue with Overwatch that everybody has said since the game's release is this focus on crowd control, and that shit's not fun in a first-person shooter. Getting stunned in a first-person shooter is not fun. Getting knocked down to where you can't do anything, there's no outplay there. Like, if you get knocked down by fucking Reinhardt or something, that's just not fun. The whole point of an FPS game is being able to outplay people and outmaneuver people, and, you know, it's just you and them, and there's not a lot of, like, other bullshit into it. Like, if I can't move my character in an FPS, that will make me not want to play the game. If I can't shoot my gun, make me not want to play the game, and that's always been the biggest issue. Whereas this, I think it's going to fix that, but it's just all going to depend on what kind of support's behind it. Obviously, it's Riot's game, but, like, is it going to be updated properly? Are they going to listen to the community? Are they going to, you know,
probably not.
How are they going to do it? Let me look at the release date here.
I feel like no one listens to the community anymore.
Well, because the community's horse shit, first of all, because you have this realm of you have this weird dynamic of, do you balance it for casual players or do you balance it for the best players? I think you balance a game based around the very best players. You balance it around the best players. So for your competitive scene, if you want to have a competitive scene in it, you need to listen to people that are playing this game for 12 hours a day, and they're playing it at the highest level.
Well, not only that, like, if you think it's those people at the highest level, what do? They play for 12 hours a day. They expose the game.
Yeah.
For its weaknesses, and then they literally exploit it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you and I used to always do it all the time. Like, we would find what that thing was on Call of Duty, whether it was a busted gun, a busted perk or attachment, and we would run with that shit until they were finally like, all right, can't do it anymore.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. You have to balance it based on professionals, the highest level, but you have to. Your game has to still be approachable enough to where a casual player can feel welcome. And I think Counter-Strike balances that very well due to the fact that everything in that game is based around the competitive rule set. So the maps are the same, like the bomb sites don't change or anything. The game mode that you're playing is what you would play in ranked, essentially. Obviously casual, like there's more people in the game, but like the rules are the same, and like you know what I mean? Like it's what you're playing, even if you jump into ranked, because most people in Counter-Strike do, like they don't just play casual, they'll play ranked. What you're playing in ranked is exactly what you're playing, what the pros are playing at a professional level. There's not like a weird rule change and like, if you play ranked in matchmaking, then the pros play on like a different round timer and different bomb timer and all that shit. Like everything is the same. So you have to make it to where pros feel that there is a skill gap and like they can learn the game and the game doesn't feel unbalanced at the highest level.
Right.
But anybody can get in and be like, oh shit, like I want to learn this game. That's exactly what happened with a game called Lawbreakers. That game flopped. It was supposed to be like the next biggest thing, and the game was so difficult. I played it in beta. I loved it, but I also play a lot of FPS.
Yeah.
The game was so difficult.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I get hooked on FPSs too easily, right? Like every FPS I play is going to be the next FPS I'm going to play for a while, and then I play a different one, right? Like I was hooked on, or Siege wasn't a first-person shooter, but it was a shooter in general. But Siege, I remember I played that like nonstop for a while, like after you and I started playing, and then Overwatch and Apex.
Yeah. I mean,
they will always have a special place in my heart. Like any decent FPS, like you don't have to really tell me a whole lot other than like, hey, it's an FPS, and I'll be like, okay, I'll try it out.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They're always my go-to, I think, because RPGs are different for me. I love RPGs and I'll play the fuck out of them, but I have to know they're good to commit the time to them.
Correct. Yep. I was about to say because it's to me. Something's gotta to draw you in. I was actually having a conversation with somebody at work who had said, he was like, I don't like RPGs, and I was like, whoa, tee it up. What have you played?
Yeah,
right. Like, because I don't know anybody that says I don't like RPGs like at all. Yeah. Right. Most people that say that have never played that RPG game, like the one that drew them in, right? Because a lot of people will be like, I don't like RPG games, but then like you're like, well, have you played Skyrim? Oh yeah, Skyrim's awesome. Well, Skyrim's an RPG game.
Yeah.
Right. It's like. And that's what I was explaining to him. I was like, there's a difference between like JRPG, which is like the turn-based one. There's a lot of people that don't like those. I was like,
I'm not a huge fan of them.
But then there's like other games where it's like you don't know is an RPG game, but realistically it is, right? Yeah. And then we started breaking it down to like, we started like listing off just a bunch of different games. And he's like, nope, never played that. And I'm talking about like influential games. Like he said he had never played, obviously, any of the Final Fantasies, never played Witcher, never played any Bethesda game, never played, like, the list just went on and on and on and on. And I was like, well, like, you don't get to say you don't like RPG games because you haven't played some of the best RPGs ever.
You probably played, like,
never played, like, BioShock, never played Mass Effect, like...
Well, that's the thing, too, is there's different levels to RPGs as well. There's shooters and action games that have RPG elements to them. Because in a sense, I mean, all an RPG is, it's a role-playing game. So essentially, if you want to take it to its literal definition, any game you play where you're not playing as yourself is technically a role-playing game because you're playing as a character. Right. But like, so there's different levels. There's RPGs where you create your own character, you do all their stats, you do all their skills, you choose how to play the game and what quests to do and how the ending comes out. Like, there's those games, and then there's also games like I would consider, like BioShock, a game that is a shooter with RPG elements. Like, you have like these different level ups that you can take, or like the different tonics and shit that you get. You can still influence the ending based off of like how you interact with the, like in BioShock 2. Was it BioShock 2? No, it was BioShock 1, where the little girls, you can choose to kill them or keep them alive, and then it affects the ending.
No, that's the first one.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. you can choose to kill them or keep them alive, so it affects the ending. Like, to me, that's like some minor RPG elements. It's not a lot, but it's minor. And
It's
so
yes enough.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things that's a slippery slope. It's definitely one of those genres that like crosses, it blurs a lot of lines in terms of like what it is and what's classified as an RPG. Because I feel like a lot of game companies are really lenient with that term, like throwing that out there, like, yeah, it's an RPG. Is it though? Stan, is it an RPG, or is this a linear shooter that you have? What is that? But I don't know. I agree. I think that's fucking. Dude, did you know Slipknot, A Day to Remember, and Under Oath are all going on tour?
No, I don't listen to any of those people, so I couldn't tell you.
Do you not really?
I've never.
I really like.
I know of Slipknot, but I don't know.
A Day to Remember is one of my favorite bands of all time. Under Oath is definitely like up there.
I think I have heard the names. I just don't listen to them.
Yeah. I ruined my A Day to Remember Homesick album. I like Under Oath's. I've been listening to them like since. I think I first heard Under Oath when I was in like 6th grade. Some shit. Like, they've been around a long time, but they're all going on tour. I just saw that on Twitter.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's a good fucking tour. Let's see, where are they going? New York. Oh, it's all like East Coast shit. Like, the farthest west they're going is Texas, but they're hitting like Tennessee, Florida, New York, Toronto, like all that shit's like all East Coast. So, but that's cool though.
So you're going, right?
No, God, no. I hate.
You're
concerts.
going, right?
I hate concerts.
You're going, right?
No, I hate concerts so much.
So you're definitely going.
No, the only place I used to enjoy
tickets.
concerts is there was this little place in Little Rock called the Village. It was in a parking lot, and it was a dome. It was an old theater. And whenever I say it was a dome, it was like a mini dome. It wasn't like huge like a football stadium, but it was in a parking lot of a strip mall, and like big, like pretty good people. Like, I saw A Day to Remember there, and like, you know, it was mostly like hardcore shows and stuff like that, and like we'd go, and it was really it was chill because it wasn't like super, like there wasn't like security everywhere and all this stuff, but you would still get like big name people to come because it was such a good spot. And like I said, it was this old theater that like they had ripped out all the theater seating except for in the back. So, and they had the big stage like up front, and you know, it was cool. It closed down because they fucking like it's just like a hole in the wall, but it would hold probably like a couple hundred people for like a small show or whatever, and it was fun. That was the only place I ever went to concerts. I don't like it. I don't like concerts at all. And Kylie loves them. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing. Apparently she used to go
I'm not
all
a
the
big
time.
fan of them either. Sarah was really big into them. And it's just never been my thing, right? Like, big crowded areas have just never ever been my thing. Like, I even don't even enjoy parties all that much, to be honest with you. Just because like there's so many
Old
things
man.
that go wrong. Yeah, like back in my day, if you didn't have just but 5 people in a circle playing Monopoly,
a party
weren't
was
having a good
Ben
time.
Gay and a warm beer. That's that was the party.
But yeah, no, that's just I've never been a big fan of it either. I don't know what made me think of this, but were you the one that told me to watch that The Circle show on Netflix?
The show, the social media show?
Yes.
No, it was not me, but I know what you're talking about because Kylie's brother's girlfriend. That I wish there was a better term for that.
It's
but
pretty damn good.
it's like everybody's catfishing each other, right?
Yeah, like I binge watched the whole thing, dude. But it was kind of interesting to like everybody, like what would you do like if you had to like either be yourself or you can be someone else if you choose to, and like how would people react, like one of the people catfishing, dude, spoiler alert for anybody, so if you are in like watching the show right now, you can mute this part or skip forward, but one of the people who are catfishing, like he makes it towards the end. Now they're not all catfishing, but there are some people that are catfishing.
Oh, okay.
But one of the catfishers make it towards the end and like ends up like doing very, very well. and to me, like it was just crazy to think that like it really makes you think of like if you don't know exactly who you're talking to, you really don't know, right? Because
Yeah.
like he had everybody believing he was a specific like person like that was living a different life, and I'm like, wow, because like you can only communicate with people through what they call the circle, which is like the personal assistant thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you have to talk to everybody. So you don't ever see anybody, you don't ever hear anybody, and you create these like relationships. And of course, like everyone always tries to flirt with each other.
Yeah.
And it's just like it gets really weird because like dude is flirting with this dude, and he thinks he's a chick, and
Fun times, dude.
but no, it's definitely a pretty good show. If like you're just randomly sitting there like I don't know what to watch, I think you would like it. It's pretty interesting. It's definitely a binge worthy show because there's not a whole lot of episodes. And they're just like an hour long. I literally watched all of them in one day.
Wouldn't that be the worst way to get catfish, though? Like, it's one thing to think that you're talking to, like, let's say, like, you know, you're straight, you're looking for a woman, right? And you think you're talking to a woman, and then you show up, and everybody's had this experience as ever online dated. It's like, you don't look anything like your fucking profile picture. Like, I feel like Kylie probably had that moment with me, too, even though I tried to actually take a realistic photo. And for anybody that doesn't know, I met my wife on online dating. I literally met my wife on the hookup app of all time, the greatest one, Tinder, and like, you know, we're married now, so that one went very well, obviously. But you know, getting catfished when you think you're talking to like the person, that's bad enough. Getting catfished as a male looking for a woman, and it turns out that they're catfishing you to the extent of they are a man, I feel like that's got to be the worst way to get catfished. That's got to be like up there on a scale of like 1 to fucked up. That's got to be like a 9 or a 10, in my opinion.
He said on 1 to fucked up.
It's got to be. You know what I'm saying though? Like I've never been catfished, thankfully, but I have seen it happened to other people. I mean, who was the dude, the football player from Notre Dame that it happened to? He's like a really well-known player.
Matateo.
Yeah. He got catfished, right? Like super.
So I remember the Manuel Hudson and his brother made that song, Matateo. And it's like they're in the locker room and he's got like a blow up doll that he says is his girlfriend or some shit like that.
But like I just feel like that's such a, I always am like, love will make people do crazy things, but I'm always amazed whenever people are like, yeah, I got catfished. I have never video chatted them or anything. Like, to me, that would be the first place I would go, is video chat, if I was like,
yeah, like, hey, yeah, you want to jump on chat real quick?
yeah. Or they're like yeah, every time we've talked video chatting, the lights are off. It's like, what? But what? Turn your fucking lights on. The hell? You can afford to FaceTime, but you can't pay your electric bill. What the fuck? Turn your goddamn lights on. This is some bullshit. I'm very skeptical though. I don't trust people, so maybe that's one reason why I haven't, like, why that had never happened to me in like my years of online dating and stuff, because I really don't trust people. Even with Kylie, I thought Kylie was avoiding me the first time we started like messaging, texting, whatever, because she messaged me because I used that like Tinder Pro shit. I was like, dude, I'm gonna pay for this shit. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. So I paid
like do it seriously, right?
It's like $5-10 or something, and like it puts your profile at the front, and like it gives you like unlimited swipes and fucking all that shit. So I was like, you know what, dude, I'm gonna do it. And then she ended up messaging me, which I didn't even know that like she could do that, because I didn't know I had matched with her, but she messaged me. And so we were messaging back and forth. And because she messaged me first, I automatically assumed it was a bot. That's how like messed up like online dating made me. I was like this like grizzled war vet in the world of online dating, and was like, that's horse shit. She called me cute. No, this is fake. This is bullshit. But I messaged her back, and I was like, I thought she was really cute. And I thought that she was ghosting me or trying to, because I was like, hey, so like, do you want to hang out? Because I wanted to, you know, we texted like for like a day essentially, and then I was like, hey, do you just want to like go get lunch, something very light. It's not a dinner, it's not, you have to sit through a movie with me. It's something very light, very quick, and then
Right.
just so I can see you, just so I can like talk to you, because I hate my phone. And she was like, no, it's not a good time. And I was like, okay, like, is there a good time? Like, when is that? And she's like, no, I'm just sick right now. And I was like, that's bullshit. You're lying to me. Again,
You're lying to me.
You're a fucking liar. I feel like that meme with that lady screaming at the cat. Like, that's what I felt like. And like, I was like, obviously I didn't say that in those words, but I was essentially like, you're full of shit. Like, let's just go to lunch, whatever. She's like, no, I'm really sick. And I was like, okay, can I fucking, you want to meet me somewhere and I'll drop Panera off? Like, that was literally what it was. I was trying to not be creepy. I was trying to not be like, I want to know where you live. Like, I was trying to not be that like that. But I was like, fuck. Like, I was having a good time talking to her, whatever. Like, she's definitely, that's what like online dating does. Anybody who's been on those apps for a long time understand what that's like, because people will talk to you. People get on those apps when they're bored, and they will talk to you just to have somebody to talk to. So I had been in that situation, not necessarily catfished. I mean, maybe it was a catfish, but like I had been in that situation before where I was talking to a girl and she just never wanted to hang out. It was always like just messaging. That was all it was. And that I was like, I'm not wasting my fucking time doing this again. Like, I get it. Like, you probably only get on this app when you're bored. You have no intent of dating me or anything like that. So I was just trying to meet her, just face to face, just meet her. And
Right.
Turns out she actually was sick. She told me that later. But then, we met and everything just kind of went from there and it was all good. But, yeah, I 100% just don't trust people. So I think that also is a reason why I wanted to meet her, is because I don't trust people. And I've talked about this before. I had this big, long thing on my stream not too long ago because somebody had they were trying to like talk to me like you would talk to me in a sense. Like, they like messaged me and shit and was like trying to talk to me in a sense of like tried to like cross those like weird boundaries or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know who you are.
Right.
Like, that was essentially what it was. And it was like, I'm not going to talk to you like a friend. Like, I'll be nice to you. I'll be cordial to you. Like, and we can hang out and have a good time. But do not talk to me like you know my day-to-day.
Yeah.
That was what frustrated me. I was like, don't talk to me like we've been cool for years and you just like, want to be a part of my life. It's
Right.
Like, I don't know you. Like, get the fuck away
Who
from
are
me. Like,
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like I had this big long thing on stream where I was like freaking out for the same reasons that you said in that show. I don't know who the fuck I'm talking to.
Yep.
You can put on any persona, whatever, and like I've talked about this. Like, I have been, like people have recognized me in public. I've gone up and I've given them a fucking hug, and we've talked, and that's cool because that's face to face. I can see you. I know who you are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
But online, I am very, very adamant about like, I'll be cool to you. We can shoot the shit. We can have fun, but like, it's not going to be this thing where like you're in my day-to-day life. Like, you're not going to come into my day-to-day, because I don't put my day-to-day out there like a lot of people.
Right.
You have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, and I do that on purpose. Like, that's my business. That's not everybody else's business. And, people are still so supportive and they're so cool about that. Because, like, I love being able to connect with people that support what I do and are excited for me and shit. And I want those people to come along for the fucking ride, dude. Like, we're all doing this. You guys like what I do. Like, I'm going to keep doing it, and I hope that you continue to enjoy it. But on a day-to-day level, like, I just don't know who you are. That's all it is. It's not personal. I don't fucking hate you, but you have to see it from my perspective, where, like, there's a lot of one-way relationships that get made on the internet nowadays where, like, people relate to an online personality, whether it's a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer, and that person, like, the relationship's not necessarily being made the other way because I can't see you. I can't hear you talking. I can't form that same type of relationship. So there's a lot of one-way relationships being made of like, I see them, I hear them talking every day. I relate to them. I love what they do. like now I want to touch them. Now I want to like
Yeah, here they are.
now I want to stroke their ear, and it's like fuck, man. Like I feel bad because I don't want people to think that like I just fucking hate them, but it's like I legitimately like I get flooded with DMs some days, and like I get flooded with people trying to like hang out with me and talk to me and shit, and it's like that's
right.
I just don't know who you are. And I've talked about it before. There's a few people that I have met over time that I have talked to for years, that have been in my stream for years, that like, you know, LLance invited me to his fucking wedding and like, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, I couldn't go, unfortunately, but, you know, stuff like that is cool.
Right.
But I will not invite you into my house. It's just,
Yeah,
it
hey,
will never
here's my
happen.
address.
Not in a million
come
fucking
in whenever
years.
you want. Right.
Will I ever hold a goddamn meet and greet at my front door? It will not happen. And so like there's a lot of people that try to push. Not everybody. A lot of people are really they're adults and they understand. But there's some people that they always just want to push just a little bit more. What else can I get for this?
How I want to smell him.
Yeah, and it's just, and it doesn't even have to be as creepy as that. Obviously I took it there cuz that's, you know, that's just to make a point, but it's always like there are some people that are so calculated with it, and they always just try to push a little bit more, and just a little bit more, just see what they can get away with, just see how much, just small information, like what can they get, like, oh, okay, well now that I have this, like, can I, you know, I'm in that area, like, you know, you want to hang out? It's like, no, I don't necessarily want to hang out.
Do you want to be friends?
Like if I did like a meet and greet or something, then we could like, yeah, dude. Or like if you see me, feel free to fucking come up to me. Like that's cool, you know. I'd prefer you not to try to like stab me or something, but you know you can come up to me and
I don't want you to wear my skin.
Yeah, like I don't want to put the lotion on. You know, that's not what I want to do. But I can, you know, I'll be nice to you and like we can hang out. And I love the support. And not everybody's like this. Just isolated.
You should try hitting up Tinder. You should try hitting up Tinder and be like, hey, so I use your app. Me and my wife met on the app. We'll shoot like a commercial for you. Pay us all this money.
We wanted. We like contemplated contacting them to see if they would pay for part of the wedding. We contemplated.
That would have been pretty cool
because so many people view Tinder as this horrible, awful place.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was like, there's a real opportunity there.
Yeah.
I've been like, hey, like we know the bad stigma your app gets or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually met the love of my life on this. Like it's that cheesy stuff. Like you always wonder like on Match.com and all those different like dating apps, like how when they make those commercials, how do they pick those couples? Obviously they could be fake, 100%. I get all that. But give them the benefit of the doubt, they're not fake. None of them are fake. How do they pick those people?
Well, so Kylie's whole friend group is an advertisement for online dating in general. So me and Kylie met on Tinder, which I used the paid version, and I'm still convinced that's the only reason why we're together is because I decided to pay for it and she could see my profile. Because Columbus is a big area. Like, I don't think she ever would have even come across me if I didn't pay for the pro version. So there's an advertisement there. Her friends, Cassie and Brandon, met on Match, and they're now married and very happy.
Wow.
The Kevin and Matt, I believe, they met on an online dating site. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Match as well. But they met on an online dating site, and now they're married and living together and happy. And
that's why you guys like used to always try to get me to try.
Yes, because it's a hellscape. Don't get me wrong. That shit is like it is. You have to navigate through so much bullshit to get to the good stuff. But I feel like that's like just regular dating. It's just you are expediting the bullshit process. So with regular dating, you could meet somebody at a bar, or you could meet somebody, I don't know, just through people, and you could go through and you can fake it for a while, right? You can be these types of people and you can fake it and lie to each other and be like, oh, I'm this person. But then a year down the road, you realize they're not that person or whatever. Online dating literally expedites that process. You just have to weed through different styles of bullshit. You have to weed through the, like, okay, I met this person, now I can talk to him for this amount of time and go on some dates. And, you know, they can still fake it right? But by the time they've also weeded through all the bullshit in online dating, they're just like, you know what? I'm going to be myself because I don't have time for this bullshit anymore. Like, I don't have time to go back to swiping, okay? I don't have time to go back to dealing with the bots and the catfish and the people that are bored and the people that just want to fuck and, like, all that stuff. So, like, that's the difference where, like, if you meet somebody through mutual friends, they'll hide so much shit just because, like, they can and they didn't have to work to get to that point. Right? If you're online dating and you get to the date portion of it and it's not just like a hookup and you get to the date portion, by then you have seen everything, okay? And you're just over it. And it's like, okay, look, I like dogs and stay away from, I don't like this in bed, and I really like cuddling, but only to an extent. Like, you already know everything you want to say to this person because you've already put in the time. It's not like somebody set this up for us, so we're going to do it. Everybody's very straightforward, I feel like. There was actually a comedian that did a bit about that I saw. I don't remember the dude's name. He's not, like, I don't think he's super well known, but he was at the Comedy Cellar, and it was a clip I saw on YouTube. And he was talking about how you can tell how long somebody's been on a dating app because of how they talk, and the people that are, like, kind of what I said, like, the people that are really straightforward with everything are always the ones that have been on there, like, way too long. And the people...
Yeah, because they just don't give a shit. Like, they're trying to cut to the chase,
exactly.
right? Like,
they're done with this shit.
We're either going to do this or we're not, right? Like,
they're done with it.
Like,
dude.
Hey, how are you? What are your interests? Cool. Do you want to have a baby? Well... Like, okay, so, like, what's a venue you're looking at for this wedding? Too much? All right, next.
He
right?
talks
Like,
about fucking, like, how the bios change is what it was. Is like when you first get on a dating app, it's like, my name's Karen and I am a Gemini and I like walks on the beach. And then the people that have been on there a long time, their bios are always like, I'm this tall, like I'm this tall and I only like this size dick and I only like this, like they're very specific with their bio and very short. It's not cute anymore. And it's like, that's what happens. I'm gonna try to find the video because I want to give this person credit and let you guys go watch it because I know I just butchered his bit, like, to the max because it was so much better. But let me see if I can fucking find him. But yeah, dude, I'm a huge advocate for online dating. There's a lot of shit and you really do have to protect yourself. Like, I'm sure there's some Tinder Dexter out there that's just like, like the fucking Craigslist killer. You remember how people fucking used to, before, like, online dating got really big, people were trying to date on Craigslist, and then they fucking even though he wasn't even the guy that was doing the Craigslist shit wasn't even like dating. He was like posing as something, like he had to sell something or something like that, and he would kill people.
right.
But I feel like that's with everything. Like, somebody could murder me at Walmart. So I guess it's just like what kind of risk you have to take. But you do have to protect yourself because that shit is real, dude. People don't give a fuck. We talk about killers a lot on this show.
Yeah, it's because,
It's probably my fault. Kylie's always watching serial killer shit, like, always. And I think that's why. It's where a lot of my fucking day is spent is talking about or learning about serial killers. Like, we just finished season 2 of Mindhunters. And that shit was dope. But that's all about serial killers and, like, how they made the behavioral science unit in the FBI.
I really think that's just how I think that's just how, like, a lot of people, like, Netflix is so popular because that's all people watch, right? Is like,
yeah,
all of that shit.
I found the comedian. His name's Casey James Salengo, Salengo. If anybody wants to watch that bit. I have never heard of this person until I saw this this clip, but he's got to be like a legit comic because he's performing at the Comedy Cellar, which is a very well known spot. So, it was very good though. It was Casey James Salengo. Very, very good watch if you guys want to go check out that clip. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm a huge advocate for online dating. I recommend everybody try it if you're having trouble fucking meeting somebody.
Yeah.
I always go with the analogy too of because I like statistics, and what is the probability that the person that you are the most compatible with just so happens to live down the road and go to the same high school as you. And that's what online dating does, is it opens up those statistics, because statistically you may live in the general area of who you're most compatible with, but you're not ever going to see that person unless you give yourself the chance.
Yeah.
And so those people that are like high school, like they're like, oh, I'm just going to stay with the person that I was with in high school because it's easy. It's like, what's the chances that that person's actually like going to be compatible with you? Which is weird because Kylie's parents are high school sweethearts and they're great, but like I feel like
you're not wrong though, right? It's like that you don't see that enough for that to become like a normal thing anymore at all.
Yeah. Because to me it's crazy. I remember what I was like in high school. I am not the same person I was in high school. And I told Kylie that. I was like, you would have hated who I was in high school. And she was like, why is that? And I was like, I was much, much more vulgar than I am now. I was foul as a high schooler. Like, I was quiet, but like whenever I was around people that I was like talking to, whatever, like I was definitely more outspoken than I am now. And I'm outspoken now, but like I had no tact with anything I was saying. Stuff just fell out of my mouth. I did not think before I said stuff. And I was like, you would have hated me as if I was in high school. Definitely. And I can't get over the fact that like people actually marry the person that they were with in high school. I can't get over that.
Well, it's because like, I mean, I used my son's mom as like a thing, right? Like her and I, like we thought that it was going to be it and we were going to be together forever. And then we get out of high school and we fucking hate each other. Like when it comes to like sometimes it does work out, but for a lot of people, like you don't even discover, like I truly believe you don't even discover who you are until some like real life shit happens. And
I think taxes change people.
Taxes, yeah, 100%.
They fucking change people.
Damn them taxes.
Fucking bills on a regular basis change people. The biggest thing that I think changes people is trying to figure out what the fuck you're going to have for dinner.
Yeah. What do you want? I don't care. Then you pick something. No, I don't want that. You just said you don't care.
Every time. Every time. I think that is the real relationship test. If you can get through that, if you can find somebody that you are willing to listen to them change their mind 5 times about dinner or tell you I don't care about dinner every single night, that's somebody that you should try to hold on to. Because it is the biggest fucking struggle on earth. Me and Kylie go through that every fucking day. Every goddamn day. What do you want to eat? I don't know. Just literally, I told her the other night, I was like, pick literally anything. I will get it. I will get like whatever you want right now at this moment. Whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. I will get it. That's what I told her. I was at that point. I was like, I will drive wherever I need to. I'll go to fucking Maine and get you an authentic lobster roll. Okay. And I'll be back in the morning. Just tell me anything that you want. And she was like, I don't know. I was like, oh, my God.
No.
Because if it was my choice, I'd just have pizza and burgers literally every night. So I can't do that. So I have to have her reel me in. I have to have her pick. Or I'd have pizza, burgers, and fried chicken every night. And so I have to have her input. Because she's the one that'll be like, you want to do salad night? Yes, I would love to do salad night. I haven't eaten a vegetable since fucking 2002. Okay? I would love to do salad night. You know, it's just that stuff. I need the other person. I need the input from somebody else before my blood pressure like causes my heart to explode. I need it. But she's like, I don't know. I ended up making her cheese toast, which is just bread with butter and a fuckload. Like whenever I say a fuckload, think of what is a lot of cheese to put on a piece of toast, and then double that. And that's what I put on this bread, because she was like, that's not enough. That's not enough. You need more cheese. So apparently, and then you stick it in the oven and on broil and just let it like melt the cheese down. It's pretty good. I had never done that before till I met her, but that was what she wanted. Of everything in the world, I told her that I would go get for her. She literally told me she wanted cheese toast. I was like, okay, this is
all right.
You're the easiest person in the world sometimes, and the most difficult at all at the same time in one little nice package. The easiest person and the biggest headache. Oh, goodness gracious. But it looks like we are over our hour-long time, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening to the 1-month anniversary of the Furthest From Perfect podcast. Woo! We will see you all next week.
Bye, guys.